So here's Giovanni's wiki page. The thing you have to understand and pay attention to is, and by the way, Gio's an amazing player. That guy is high-level, world-class player. He's going to be huge for our national team. What I'm saying is U.S. Soccer didn't create him. His family did. His home. He has 2 parents that played on the national team. Mom and dad. I'm shocked he became an unbelievable player. The home made him. So, Giovanni is the son of former Ranger FC, Sunderland, Manchester City, New York Red Bulls, and United States player Gio Reyna, which he was a captain for 7 years, I think. And then his mother, Danielle Egan, is it Egan? A former member of the U.S. women's national soccer team. She also played for UNC. What? What do you think Gio was going to do? But look, we're going to be fine with the U.S. Players are being developed. This is our problem in U.S. soccer. Players are being developed in the home. My children will benefit from what I've learned. I played Division I soccer. I played professional soccer. I'm handing that to my children. Do you not see it? You don't. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Pulisic. Here's Pulisic's father. Pulisic's father was an indoor professional soccer player. Harrisburg Heat. He played for George Mason University and then played for Harrisburg Heat. By the way, I almost played for them. And his dad was smart enough to say, let's get our son out of here and go to Germany. And that's where he went. He took his son and dropped him off at Borussia Dortmund Academy and became a coach there and stayed with his son. He was smart enough to get out of the United States to avoid the destructive nature of U.S. soccer. It doesn't develop players. It's developed in the home with a smart mother or father or combination of the both that develop their child. So let's look at another one. Let's go to Weston McKennie. So let's look at his. Did the U.S. develop him? Let's look. This is from ESPN Plus from the Bundesliga website. The Texas native was just 5 when his family relocated from the U.S. to Germany. Oh, so that's where he started. A transatlantic twist of fate that opened his eyes to soccer, changing the course of his life forever. We were stationed in Fort Lee, Virginia, Weston's dad, John, explained to USsoccer.com as part of their new series, Rising Emerging Faces of the U.S. Men's National Team. It was just coming up on time for me to make a PCS, a permanent change of station, and I had an option to go to Alaska or go to Germany. I talked to my family about it, and it's like, I don't want to go to Alaska. It's cold there, so we decided to go to Germany. So if he chose Alaska, there is no Weston McKennie playing soccer. Probably be playing football. Something else. Let's read on. I talked to the family about it, and it was like, we'll not go to Alaska. It's too cold. We're going to Germany. For young Weston, one of the things was soccer. He began to play regularly with his older brother John and a friend Toby across the road from the family's home and the village sports hall. Even then, he was cut above the rest. So he was doing street soccer already. Crazy. I remember we were playing a bunch of 16 to 20-year-olds said David Mueller, coach of the local youth team FC Phonics. There was these two Americans, one of them 14 years old and one of them 5 years old. If he had the ball, you could see he was pretty good. That was Weston. I went to his brother and said, why don't you bring him out to the local team I just took over? It's exactly his age group, Weston obliged. Not that it was entirely age appropriate. He rattled off 8 debut goals for the U6, prompted Mueller to pump him up not one, but 2 age groups. The move paid tenfold. In Germany, they know it's a child that is above their ability. They move them up age groups, but U.S. soccer and their whole bio-banding, whatever happened to bio-banding? Remember that? Bio-banding, where you based on size and based on size, you'll be put in your age group. So you actually go down an age group. That's how stupid they are. I don't know whatever happened with bio-banding, but I think we spent a lot of money for U.S. soccer. Not as much spending we did on the membership of Flynn and Berhalter for their gym workouts. But, yeah, that seems very intelligent by the Germans. Oh, he's good. Let's move him up age. And initially, he was out there playing with a bunch of 16 and 20-year-olds, just hanging out with the people. But in America, we're scared about age. That's not fair. Check their birth certificate. I cry foul. And I continue reading on. If McKennie thought a career in soccer was pie in the sky, he soon changed his mind after watching the U.S. beat Poland in a pre-2006 FIFA World Cup friendly in nearby Kaiserslautern. The Texas youngster had the good fortune to meet the U.S. men's national team players, Landon Donovan and Carlos Bocanegra. So he's around the game. He watched the game. He played on the streets. He was identified. He moved up in age groups because he was scoring too many goals. And that doesn't happen here in the United States. Doesn't happen in rec soccer. Oh, it's just rec. It's not a caddy percent DA or whatever we're doing. It's not MLS Next. Yeah, it doesn't happen enough. So he grew up in Germany before going to Texas. So he really got his feet wet because he went there. If he went to Alaska, game over. No McKennie. That in lies our problem, ladies and gentlemen. We have a problem. And I'm getting, I got all these posts on YouTube saying, this guy's just an MLS Next hater, blah, 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 or whatever they're saying. I'm not going to read too much more into it. There's just too much stuff to fight with right now. I got to pick my battles. But we can't get excited about these. We get players that are being developed in homes with parents with national team players, national team parents developing their child. Yeah, that's not U.S. soccer. That's parents. And then we have the luck of McKennie growing up in Germany because his dad decided not Alaska, and I'm going to go to Germany where soccer is king, and they learned on the streets and moved up age group based on his ability. Yeah, that is a bit different than what we're experiencing today. So I said enough. This podcast is now done. I'm moving on.